You're the driver. You say he was old. He not that old. That's a handsome man right there.
What's he doing?
Plan C. Be ready.
Just gotta hope for some lucky breaks. Hope it's not a strategy.
Damson, sir, welcome to the Awards Tour podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I really do have to start with the incredible ride, pun intended, that you've been on with F1. I knew this movie was going to be different when you ripped off your clothes at the Met Gala, but you did it. Listen, do you think people weren't going to ask you about it? Because that was...
It's so interesting that day because I was really nervous. So when I look back at it, I don't even know how I hid my nerves the whole way through. Like, arriving, driving, ripping it off, everything, walking up the steps, like my heart was like, yeah, because I'd never done anything like that before.
You did very well. Well, the reason why I say this is because, look, you did so much press for F1. I don't want to get you to relive like all of that kind of stuff. I actually kind of want you to relive what you did on the press tour. And there's one interview in particular that I have to talk about. It is you and Brad Pitt doing the Lad Bible, Degree to Disagree about British. I think you literally lost part of your soul in that interview with some of the things that he was disagreeing with you about. So talk about that and getting to know him as a person now, I feel even more so than what you guys were doing on set. Because I know you guys kept it a little distant on set.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much animosity between the two characters. So I'd come in and not say hello to him sometimes. But, being Brad, he's this... a guy's guy. He's like, Damson, what's up, man? And just ruined the whole process. But during Lad Bible, it was funny, and just press in general, we just really tease each other. And it was kind of like that on set as well. He's like my big brother that keeps me humble. And yeah, that agreed to disagree. We just really went at each other. It was so.
There was one moment where you were like, "Are you serious?" Like he said something that you were like, "I can't believe that you feel this way." And I don't remember what it was about, but you were just like, "This is
different worlds." Yeah, definitely different worlds and generations. Yeah,
generations.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. But bringing it back to F1, because you have done a lot of it with this, but I think now you've definitely gotten the reception from the F1 fans. I mean, the film obviously did very well, certified fresh. The audience loved it as well, verified hot. It was really a summer moment that so many people were so excited to be a part of. I'm curious for you, have you gotten the response from the F1 community and what have they been saying? Because I know you kept them top of mind when you were creating this adventure.
Yeah, for me personally, the F1 community was the group that I really wanted to impress, especially the drivers who we met before we started filming. But we really did promise the world of F1, from Stefano to everyone involved, that we were trying to create the most authentic racing movie of all time. And you could see not only from the box office, but from the amount of people that have come to the world of F1 because of the movie. I think we ticked that box. And I'm just able to see the reception when I actually go to races now that the movie's out, and just the amount of fanfare. And when we were filming, Brad couldn't move around, because we were at the real races and people were constantly trying to take pictures. Now I can't move around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the film has really been received in a great way. And I had tipped my hat to just the cinematography of the movie, and just the way Joe was able to put those cameras on the car. F1 are now looking into putting that in the races and trying to figure out how they can make some of the footage of races look like how we shot the movie. So you can see how everyone's just being influenced by just the whole process.
And that's the other thing I kind of wanted to talk about, because it's interesting. Russell Crowe talks about how when he goes to Italy, he ain't got to worry about anything. Is that the way it is for you now when you go into an F1 paddock? Like,
yes,
you can get tickets to Miami when nobody
show up. I just show up and do the Joshua pose, and then just all the barriers just open, the paddock, everything. People give me food. No. They're still like, "Where's your badge?" It's a real, untouched world, man. I mean, before the movie, I remember Jerry Bruckheimer was telling me in the States, they rarely knew about F1, not to the level of Europe. And definitely documentaries like Drive to Survive helped enhance that. They say 60% of the F1 fans from Drive to Survive are women, which is a great.
I can attest to that, yes.
Yeah, yeah, they all love Carlos Sainz. Yeah, so there's just so many elements that the movie's bringing, and I'm really happy because not only have we touched the mark of being the most, movie with the biggest box office racing movie of all time, but it's also a great milestone for Brad's career, which is saying something.
Yeah. Because it is so much of like the Brad Pitt and the Javier Bardem, the Jerry Bruckheimer, and of course what Joseph does behind the camera. I don't think folks got to talk as much about the incredible ensemble that was put around y'all in this, like Carrie and Sarah and Abdul and Tobias, and like they're all like so great. I'd be curious if you could talk about one of your favorite moments with not the Brads and the Javier's on set, because y'all had a lot of fun, I think, because y'all were more, the people actually doing the F1 stuff, right? As I like to say.
Well, I mean, that's a testament to Lucy Bevan, who's just a fantastic casting director. And again, I'm so happy that the Oscars are looking at that side of the movie business this year with award season. But particularly Abdul was very funny because he was doing an African accent. So me and Samson Kao, who I've actually known since I was 14, by the way, Samson Kao, who played Cashman, we would always just be teasing him and doing an African accent back. And anytime he'd get his lines wrong, he'd be like, "Oh, the FIE." And then so that became a thing that everyone was just saying it throughout all the way up to Joe. Anytime someone made a mistake, people would go FIE, and it was this an inside joke between us. But going back to that ensemble, the smartest thing that Joe and Lucy was able to bring together and everyone involved was just the chemistry. Outside of filming, we were traveling around the world with each other from race to race. So we really did become a family, and many of us are still in touch now. And I'm really, really happy and thankful because going forward, that's how I want to work with people in movies. I want to work with people who I know I will know after we wrap because chemistry is that deep.
I love that. And if there's a bow that you could kind of put on Joshua, because I think like you, he was, maybe, I don't know if you have the level of confidence that Joshua had. I don't know if anybody does outside of like a few select people. But what are you going to take from him, or what do you hope fans maybe take from him? I don't know if we get more chapters in F1. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want folks to take away from that character now that it's had a chance to breathe in the world?
When we first meet Joshua, he's incredibly cocky, and we watch him rise throughout the movie. And a lot of that wisdom comes from listening to vets such as Sonny Hayes. So for young people, listen. That's definitely something I want people to take from Joshua. You don't always know it all. And many people, giants, have walked the path that you're on now. So just listen and learn and be a sponge and be humble. Because at the end of filming, and definitely from where I got to with Joshua, that's the feeling I had. A feeling of humility, but also a feeling of having something to prove to the world and walking with grace. And I'm applying that to my actual individual career too.
I love that. I want to talk a little bit about your career because this is what's really weird. I think I've spent the most time I spent in London is in like the past few years that I've been doing this job. But before that, I just really liked the television. Like I was BritBox type person before it was. And you actually did some of these, they're like staple British shows, like Casualty and Coronation Street and Doc. You did some of those, which I think is crazy now because you become this very well known for a lot of American stuff. But like those are kind of like, I don't know, like I think like Casualty is like y'all's version of Law and Order, where like you could go back and look at old episodes and see like, oh, this is like Tom Hardy before he was famous.
It really is a rite of passage, kind of like the theatre is in the UK too. A lot of us started off in the theatre. So I did a play at the National Theatre. That was kind of the last play I did. And I was like, man, I want to get into TV. So then you do Casualty, you do Doctors, you do Miranda Hart. These are like real staple shows. And then from then, I kind of made the jump to the States. It was really quickly for me. I was 22 years old and I'd started acting probably around 2 or 3 years prior to that. So America and Franklin Saint on Snowfall was real deep end stuff for me. And then I'd dabble and jump back into some British stuff like Black Mirror, or I'd do a movie here and there. And I was just really just learning my craft as I was going all the way up until F1 the movie now.
Well, I was just gonna ask you, do you call your mom and say I'm gonna be on Casualty? Like, what was the
The funny
That's
thing
what I was
about
gonna
my
ask.
mom, I mean, I had booked Snowfall, so I was a lead, 23 years old on the FX major network TV show. And my mum was like, "Oh, when are you going to be on Hollyoaks?" That's how important British TV is, especially to the African mums and aunties. Like they just sit down and watch EastEnders all day. So yeah, that was the level that everyone wanted to get to. But then, of course, when she saw Snowfall and she came to the States and saw me, she was like, "Okay, my son has made it big, big
Also,
time."
big time. Yeah, no, it's good. Shout out to mom. I also love when you say Franklin, you immediately go into your South LA accent. Like you can't even say his name with
No,
the tinge.
no.
So crazy to listen to. Like I heard it and instantly. But I wanted to bring it. Obviously, we're going to talk about Snowfall. What's crazy for me is I was there. Do you remember when y'all went to Austin to the ATX Television Festival to premiere that movie? Do
Wow.
you remember that?
I remember every place I went to because it was the first time I was ever going there. Yes, the ATX Festival, I went there for the first time for Snowfall. And then for F1, that is actually my favorite track to drive on. So I've been there twice, once for Snowfall and once for F1. Really interesting. Yeah.
I loved it. Well, I'm from, that's where I've started covering movies. And that was like me, like very early starting out. I was still like doing stuff in Austin. And the reason why I kind of bring it up because Snowfall, as good as that show was, and it was like critics loved it, audience was clearly there. You guys had an incredible run on television, but it was like that cool show that either you knew about or you didn't.
Mhm.
And it's interesting now because I feel more people talk about it now, even. Have you felt that? Like
Oh, yeah.
the Franklin Saint effect has it's almost like it was bigger the last season than it was the entire 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a testament to, the shows that age like wine. Sometimes they don't hit when they're first on, or sometimes there's other shows on that are a bit louder, so they kind of don't get their just dues. I always found it interesting because in playing Franklin Saint, I had won every single trophy that the black culture can give you, like the NAACP, BET, the Critics' Choice, Mobos. Like I'd won everything, so I was like, "Oh, what isn't translating?" And then now today with this kind of new generation and TikTok, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's happening? Why did I not know about this show?" So I don't really know what happened. I've spoke to some of the guys who were on The Wire. I'm obviously close with Idris, and it was a similar thing. Some shows are here forever, and some shows are here for a moment. I think Snowfall is here for a long time.
No, it is timeless. And listen, I don't have to be so gauche to bring it up, but I just need you to take me into it. When did you first hear the TikTok edit?
Yeah, I think my
Wait,
nephew.
hold on. Let
Yeah,
me set the stage. Who put it in front of your face? And
yeah,
when did it click to you? Oh, this is different.
yeah. It was my nephew who had shown it to me, and it had stupid amount of views, but it was just the way that piece of art that we had one or two takes to do because they were kicking us out the building became an iconic moment in a TV show and it was on air. And now it's now shifted to a place where women are creating edited videos where they wake up in the morning, just I woke up like this, and then next thing you know, they're in a full gown and makeup, and I'm just like, you just have no idea where art is going to translate to, and I've seen it in everywhere in India and I mean, I've seen so many of the videos because I'm just so interested to see how someone could take, a lot of that was improv, even, something that just like came from the writers and some of my mind and then taken a way of its own. That is the beauty of art, really. So I'm really happy with where it's gone to.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like that is the ultimate. Like Keith Morrison, who does Dateline, people always get him to be like their voicemail. I think from now until the end of time, you can make a run of doing like this is who, like you know what I mean? Who you call this Jacqueline?
Oh man.
You know, like you could make a run. Basically, you could just line up at Comic-Con or something and just keep keep
It's
doing.
so it's so funny that day as well because the night before I read the scene and then I had watched Kendrick Lamar kind of perform. It was like a one-time performance and he went into this state. So then we had one or two takes. So then I was just like him, her. So that was actually from Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, yeah. It was actually inspired by Kendrick Lamar.
That is such a good LA story too, man, because this has been really his year as we're sitting on all these Grammy nominations and everything else. So let just give more Kendrick flowers. That is so great, man. And it's a testament to your performance because, like I said, we were there, you know, as the community. I'm glad that the rest of the world is catching on to it. And it's just the beginning, I think, of like a great run for you as well. And there's some other stuff in the sort of Harper that I very much kind of want to talk about. I know you can't say a lot, but speaking of the community and the culture, Children of the Blood and Bone, that's
Yeah.
like that meme with Gary Oldman, who we bring in everyone.
That's funny.
Idris, Cynthia, Chewy, everyone. Tuso, Lashana, Regina King, Viola Davis, Amanda Steinberg, Tosin, like, girl. Y'all literally
Elba,
said,
Viola Davis, Regina King, True
yes.
Yeah, it
And
was.
then led by Gina Prince Bythewood and Tommy Ademe writing. Yeah, so speaking just a few people, what can you tell me, if anything, about this? Obviously, an incredible adaptation. Yeah.
It really is a labor of love, really. And in speaking to Gina, as she puts it, this is unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. So you actually can't compare it to anything, which I think is always refreshing, especially in a climate of so many remakes. It's why I love F1 the movie. And you know, we were in South Africa. We shot for about 6 months out there, and we did insane amounts sword fighting training and getting our bodies into shape, just like she did with the actors on Woman King. So you look at that cast, you look at that director. It's obviously with Paramount, who are 1,000,000% back in the movie. It's going to be one of those cultural, iconic event movies where everyone's going to show up in their native gear and their crowns. Yeah, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. I play Prince Inan. He's an incredibly complicated character. But again, it's unlike anything I've ever done before. So I'm really excited for people to see me take that swing.
There's a lot. I've read the series. I don't want to say anything, but
Yeah.
how do I put this? They make it to where you're like very much like this is another example of like I don't like everything that he's saying, but I know what they're gonna do is they're gonna make it villainously hot. How about that? Can we say that?
Oh my Lord.
To be fair?
I want to hate him, but I can't.
There's a lot. You said complicated. I'm gonna put it out there. He's the type of man that sends you to therapy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely there. Before we get out of here, too, like I said, you're definitely a young man. Your career is still going, even though you've already had some incredible stops on it along the way. Where's some place that you want to go that you haven't gotten to go to yet on screen? Or even maybe some collaborators that you're hoping to look forward to. Although, like I said, you kind of got everyone, and I do mean everyone, in a lot of your first efforts. So,
God bless you. I mean, I would love to play in the horror world. Next, probably that's something I'm looking at. I watched so many amazing movies this year that really, I think we're at a place in the creation of horror movies where it's not just the genre; it's also can say something and could also be placed in a position of it being moving and being full of heart. So I would love to dabble in that, and of course romance. I haven't touched that too. I'm only romantic on TikTok edits, I hear. So a couple movies.
time out. You've seen, sir. You have absolutely seen. There is no way you have not seen those edits. Don't play.
No, my friends tease me. That's like all my My friends would just tease me about it. Like that's really what happens. But no, I'd love to dabble in that world. And then of course next I'm playing Miles Davis. So like I'm living with the trumpet every 2 seconds. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So how are you doing with that? Because that is not an easy instrument. Like a piano, you just got to make your fingers
Yeah.
move. You
Yeah.
have to get like, I'm not going to describe it because it would be whatever. You have to make your mouth do things.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to
I hate to say it. If you're playing Miles Davis, what does that mouth do?
It's training. What does that mouth do? That's
Sorry,
crazy. That is crazy. Oh my Lord. Jacqueline.
Trumpet though. I'm not
Oh
being
yeah. It works. It works very, very hard. Yeah.
the piano or something else. Is literally
No, yeah, it's the hardest instrument in the world. But again, just like driving Formula One cars, learning how to sword fight, I'm having the most fun.
Damson, sir, this has been an incredible chat. I want to congratulate you on everything at F1 and thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, my queen. Bless you so much.